Hi guys, I'm going to show you a little bit how to set up an electronic portfolio using Google Sites to help you with your presentation that you need to do this week. So let me just give you some samples. Obviously there's going to be 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to do things, but I'll do a demonstration to get you started. When I want to find my Google applications, I will just go to the Google website, and obviously you're going to have to create a Google account, so everybody needs to do that. But once you have that up and going, in the upper right hand corner are these small little dots. It's called the Google Apps. You can click over here, and whenever I want to find any of my documents, I will go to my Google Drive, and that's where I save everything because you have the ability to create files and folders so that it's managed well. And so in Google Drive, if you come over here and you click on New, I will go ahead and do a folder keep everything for my electronic portfolio together. And I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 before it so that it stays at the top for us, and we will go ahead and create that. So here's my folder. I'll go ahead and open it. And now I'm going to go ahead and open up a Google Sites, which is the way that Google has to create websites. That's the baby way. It's incredibly easy to do it without having to learn HTML coding or anything like that. So I will click on New, and here's the applications down here. You do not see Google Sites, so you have to go to More and then go across and come down, and there's Google Sites right there. So it goes ahead and it creates it. It's going to put it in that folder, and the first thing you want to do is give your site a name so that it's easy to find it. So I'm going to call it Electronic EP, Electronic Portfolio, and this is for my video demo that we're doing today. And then when we close that, I will go ahead and close it, and you come into Drive and you find the folder. Gosh, there it is. Took a minute to do, and it's got a name, and you can call that back. So we'll go ahead and pull it back up. So the first thing we want to do is you're going to need to put something in your electronic portfolio from each and every class in the program. So you want to do a folder for each class. So if way over here on the right hand side, if you look under Pages right here, that's where we're going to create this. And to me, it's more like folders. And kind of down here at the bottom, it's not terribly intuitive. This is where you click on the plus, and you'll do one for every class. EDT 8110, that in the program, and you just do them all. 8120. And I'm just hitting enter because you just have to click done. EDT 8130. I'll just do 4 for the demonstration because you get the idea. But if you're in the master's program, you're most likely going to have 10 classes, so you should list all 10 classes. You won't be putting stuff into it until you take those classes. So we're in 8110, so we'll go ahead and launch that. Now, you want a similar look and feel on the web pages for each individual class that you're taking. So, for example, for EDT 8110, you want to create web pages for that class. Now, when you take 8120, you can do a different look and feel for that. But for the class that you're taking, they need to all look the same and feel. It's called branding, so that when your virtual audience goes from page to page within the EDT 8110 information, they have a similar look and feel, and it makes them feel warm and comfortable and connected. So we'll go ahead and set it up for EDT 8110. So what you'll do is you'll set up the opening page and then just copy it or duplicate it. So here is the banner up here. We'll start here. You always want to leave the name of the class and then something about it. So you want to name your entire website something, the big idea of the class. So in this case, it might be something like effective learning or how people learn, and that's what I will name it. People, because your class activities or assignments are going to all tie into that big idea. Now, this is a placeholder for the website banner, and I want that to all be on one line, so I'm going to drag that out all the way to the side, and so it fits on all on one line. Now in the background color of the banner, you can come over here and you can change the image. There's several ways you can change it. You can select an image, and Google has pre-selected images that you can pick from. You can also click on the and go and upload an image from your computer. You have to be careful though, because this is white text. You want to get a background image that's consistently dark so that you have a high enough contrast so that individuals with disabilities can clearly see it. So for this example, I'm just going to go ahead and select an image. I will come down here. I'm going to pick this one, and I want you to watch. In the lower right hand corner, if you can see right there, it says adjusting for readability. Now, see how it darkened it? So that means it sensed that I have white text, and the background is not going to have a big enough contrast, so it automatically darkened it so that it would have a bigger contrast to ensure readability. So there we are, we have the banner. Now in each and every page, I want you to have a web page title. And there's a consistent way that you add content to the Google Sites web pages. So it's not intuitive up front, but the beautiful thing about it is that it's consistent. So once you learn it for everything. So to add content to the web page, all you do is double click on the web page. So double click, and you get this option of things that can go on the website. So this is text, and it's right in the middle, so we'll go ahead and click there. And let's go ahead and give this a title. So this is the opening web page for the entire EDT site. So we'll call this Welcome, and I'm going to do this in all caps. And then click away. Now, to make sure that it meets for accessibility guidelines, the Google Sites does a beautiful thing, and it's also its strength and its weakness. So if I want to change this text to make it bigger, to make it bolded, to center it, all those things, you'll notice that you don't have the ability to select 12 point, 14 point, 24 point font and change the different types of font. Because that does not meet accessibility guidelines, so that it's not cascading. It doesn't have a style sheet. So to do that, these are the styles that you can pick from. And that way a speaking browser knows that the titles are read first, the headings are read second, so it meets the accessibility guidelines for speaking browsers. So in this case, we're going to change this to a title because we want it to be, differentiated than the regular paragraph text, and we will do the alignment here and select centered. The other thing we can do to differentiate this is we can come over here to the left hand side where it looks like a little paint palette and select an emphasis so that that has a colored background. So each and every page is going to have the banner up here at the top. It's going to have a web page title, and then we're going to come down here and we will have our content stuff. So everything that you've done thus far in the class always has to have section headers to clearly identify that section, and that's no difference on a web page. So we'll go ahead and add section header here, and I'm going to do this in all caps too. So you will go back and obviously change the information. So we want to change the style of type. So that would be like a header. And we could even do a color different. We'll do the emphasis one, which is like a light gray. It might be difficult to see the difference on that text. And then we'll come over here and we will just add the text here. So I'm just going to put, whoops, I don't want all caps there because that's going to be that's going to be the stuff that you type in each section. So I'll do some typing in here and copy it. So that you see, this is just, and the text is just the normal text as far as the style and cascading style sheet. So you have the ability to duplicate this and just do it over and over. Now, the other thing that you're required to do is to add an image that closely aligns with that each chunk of data, and that would be like every paragraph. So this is a little tricky, and the fact that if you want to do it so it aligns with that text, so it's going to be on the left over here or on the right, and so your instinct is that you want to put it, click right there, because that's where the photograph goes, and Google Sites does not do a very good job doing that. So what you want to do is take your mouse and double click beneath where anything is written, and we want to upload the photograph or the image beneath there. There's two ways to do it. If the photo is in your Google Drive, then you will go ahead and select from Drive. But if you're doing an image from your computer, you're going to go ahead and select the upload option. You can only upload really images from your computer, not things like Word documents or PowerPoint documents. Those need to be uploaded to Drive and then inserted. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and go to Pictures, and I will find a picture and we will open it. And so the picture goes beneath that text, and that's really not what we want. We want this to be on the left or the right of that paragraph of text. So the first thing you need to do is resize your image. So get in a corner somewhere and resize it so that it's appropriately imaged. And if you, let's say we want to put this over here on the right, I'm going to drag the image over here to the right. And then what you need to do, and this is critical, when you click on the text image, the paragraph image, do you see where it launches the box around it, the placeholder? So grab the placeholder little dot to the right, and you're going to drag it in far enough so that you free up space so that image can just slide right in there, and then you find the image and you drop it in, and that's how you do it. Now you see how it doesn't quite align, so in this case I'm going to go ahead and resize the image a little bit, and I might even add some more text in here, because you want to have it so that the paragraph and that the image, and you don't want one to be way smaller or the text to be way longer. You want them to sort of align. Now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate these, duplicate the section, and then you can see a little bit of dots on the left hand side. I can drag that down beneath here, and I'm going to duplicate the text section, and it's got the photograph still. Drag it down here. And I can, if I had 10 sections of the assignment, just keep doing this so I have this template ready to go. Now I'm going to show you how it works for the images on the other side. I will drag the image out of here, and again I can make the paragraph fit the entire page, so I will drag the image to the left hand side. You would do just the opposite thing. Click on the placeholder, pull it in so that it leaves enough room for the image on that side, and then we put it over there. And so you can mix it up when you're doing your document so that you have images on the left, images on the right. Now images need to have alt text so that they meet accessibility guidelines for individuals with disabilities. So when I click on that image, I get my properties up above it. And to find the alt text option, you click on the ellipses, more editing options, right up above here, and then it says right there, add alt text. And so in this case, this is storyline to software, I'll call it. Your alt text should start with a capital. It should be extremely short, extremely succinct, and it should never say something like picture of, image of, because that's said in the speaking browser when it reads it to the individual. You just want to do it as short, 1 or 2 or 3 words description of what it's about. And we'll go ahead and click on apply, and you want to do it to each and every image. So make sure that we'll do it over here to software and apply. Okay, let me look at my cheat sheet to make sure that I'm not forgetting. We have the consistent banner. Okay, so now we've made this template, and we probably over here, I'm guessing another section you probably want to go ahead and add because it's going to be on each and every page, is for references. So I will go ahead and just add that in there. Bear with me. And in this case, we're going to do text, and you're just going to put your text, again, not capitals. You can put your text in here. Now, it's going to be impossible to do hanging indent, so this is going to be just have the same information you would have in APA, but you won't be able to do the hanging indent because there's no exact margins. It changes by the size of your document. So if it's on a cell phone, it's going to be smaller. So there's no way to know exactly where that return will be. So just include the right information. You can, if there's a textbook, come up here and have it italicized. You can do that. But that's about it, okay? And if you do have a link to an article, you can come and select the text, and you can come over here and click on Insert Link, and you can put the link in there. So let's say it's to the Wright State website, http://wright.edu, apply. So you can insert links to URLs. You also can embed a video, like let's say it's from YouTube. If I come over here and I click on a new window and I go to YouTube, and we want to share that one. If we come down here and again we click on share, there's the embed right there. Click on embed, and there's the embed code right there. So I'm going to copy it, and I will copy. And if you want to have it start at a little bit later to miss a little point, you can actually put in the start position there. And you can do embed options here. Show suggested videos when it finishes. I would recommend turning that off. Heaven forbid they're inappropriate. Recommend keeping the show or play controls. Show the video title and play actions. I would recommend that. And enable privacy enhanced mode. So those are the two big ones that I would do. So you need to make your selection first and then go and copy it, because it puts that into the code. So I will copy that, and we will close out here. And so when you double click here, and we'll go ahead and select embed. Now let me come back here. First of all, we're going to want to copy a section, move it down here, and this section header would be YouTube video. Is there a space between U and tube? Nope. Okay, so then I will double click there, and that's an embed code. And in this case, you could do by the URL, paste the URL in there. It could have been the YouTube video, and then it would have had a link, just like I showed you up above in references. But we wanted to do the embed code, so click on the embed code tab, and then paste it in there. Click on next. It gives you a little preview, and you click on insert. And and you can actually center this too. When I click on this, you can drag it over a little bit, and you see it moves it. The difference between the hyperlink is just the URL with the reference versus looking like the video is actually part of the page. It is embedded. So this is usually the better way to go. In some of the assignments, you're going to have to do Google Forms, which is like a little quiz with questions and answers, and you would want to either embed that form into it, but if the Google form was really long, then you might want to have just embed a link to the Google form where they click on it and the Google form launches. So that's how you do a lot of the information. And if you want to move things around, like if you want this references at the bottom, we can drag that down, and this would be the text beneath there. So it is movable. That's the easier and better way to do things. Hold on, let me try moving that one more time. There you go. So it's up above. Now we need to copy this because you're going to want this to be an exact replica. There's two ways to copy it. When I click on the little down arrow, we can either duplicate the page or add a subpage. You will want these pages to be a subpage, but that's not the way that we need it to be, because you want an exact replica of this page. So the right way to do this is absolutely you only want to do this one way, is to select on duplicate page, give it a name, and then this would be week 1, and then you need to then indent it so that it's a child page, sub page. So to do that, you just take your mouse and you select a week 1, and you depress your mouse and select it, and you drag it and you drop it right on top of where you want the parent page to be, which is EDT 8110. And then and what happens is it did an exact replica of that page, so that I can just change welcome to week 1, and then I'm going to come over here on the right and duplicate it again. That's going to be week 2, done. I keep doing this. It takes just a minute, you can see it, to do the page. I'll change the text, and then we will keep duplicating the page. You want to do one for all the weeks that you need. And you can come back and change. If you don't like the name of these pages, you can come back later and change it. No problem. So there you can see when it's duplicating the page, then it's got the exact banner that you want, the exact section headers that you want, but you do want to come in here and change these web page titles. You can change them at a later date if you want. So the beautiful thing about doing these is that all your pages with an EDT 8110, when you come up here, week 1, are going to look identical, same look, same feel, but the content's going to be different. So I can go to week 2, and then I can go to week 3. Now, how you publish it, right now this is in the working format, only you can see it. You come up here and click on publish, and that makes it go available to the public. This is going to be the URL web address. You can click on publish, and the URL that you want to embed into your self-reflection to let us know is you come down here and click on view, and this launches the web page, and you can see that it's a live web page at this point. So you want to find the right page. So for example, if you were sending information in EDT 8110 for week 3, you would actually click on week 3. And you can see that up here in the top, week 3 is in that URL because that's what you named the web page. You would copy this URL, make a copy of it, and this is what you would embed in your self-reflection in your discussion post to let us know that your assignment is done and that the instructor can go grade it, and your peers can go and give you a peer review. Then you just change the content to what you want to put in here, change the images to match the content, and put in appropriate either YouTube videos or Google Forms, make the references at the bottom of the page, and that's it. That's how you do your electronic portfolio.